Hey everybody. I decided to record this because at my my husband's suggestion, I am a researcher. I've been in business for 20 years, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also launching a new business. I'm a mom, so I have a unique perspective when it comes to finding things out, especially as a business owner. I'm also a property owner. So I have to find as many tools as I can to support a business because I've always been in business for myself. And one thing that I have never experienced, and I don't think any of us have, is something like COVID-19. So what I've been doing is finding ways to sustain my businesses, but also get information on this, because right now the information literally is changing every single day and it's very, very, very convoluted. So I was like, let me just do this on a daily basis where I can get information out. And so today's most pressing thing is the payroll protection program. Obviously, unemployment is at a crazy all-time insane high, and keeping people employed is, I think, every business owner's primary, at least mine, primary objective. And I think our general nation's economy is keeping people employed. So the payroll protection program is pretty incredible. Just to give you a little bit of basic idea about it, it's available to any business with 500 or fewer employees. It will help you with payroll, rent, utilities, healthcare costs, state and local taxes, and more. And the loan itself can be for up to 2.5 months of your average monthly payroll costs, plus an additional 25% of that amount. But the loan is capped at $10 million. So I wish I had $10 million worth of payroll, but that's where it's capped. Also, loans will be forgiven, which means completely erased, not have to pay back, for the borrower's payroll, rent, mortgage, and utility costs paid during an 8-week period after the loan is originated. It's really important to pay attention to those details during an 8-week period after the loan is originated. So you have to pay 2 months worth of payroll during that pay period, as well as whatever you're using it for, that additional 25%. There's some guidelines about the forgiveness that I'll get to in a little bit later, but this is basically an expansion of the economic disaster loans, economic injury disaster loans, which I applied for last week, and I'll probably do another video on that, to be honest with you. But the guidelines for getting the loan forgiven is for employers who keep or quickly rehire their employees and maintain their salary levels. The loan will be forgiven within 60 days of forgiveness submission. So obviously there's going to be the application for the loan, and then obviously the submission for forgiveness. The SBA loan itself has a maturity of 2 years and a fixed interest rate of 1%, which was changed from 0.5% on Thursday. Like I said, these things are changing each and every day. Loan payments will also be deferred for 6 months. So you won't have to make a payment for 6 months. So how do you apply? You can apply through any SBA lender, but it's probably wisest to start with your bank, where the payroll is being paid from. And the applications are actually being able to be submitted today. Starting April 10th, a week from today, independent contractors and self-employed individuals will also be able to apply. So if you're a small business with paying employees, it's very important that you get your application in as soon as possible. Now, this is big. Loans are going to be given on a first come, first served basis. So even if you qualify, if you don't get your application in, you may not get it. You have to do this and get this information in quickly. Get your application in quickly. There are no fees. It does not appear that there's a credit check. But there are some requirements. And the requirements is basically, just to start off with, you have to have your payroll information together. You have to have any independent contractor payments that you make as well. And the payroll report that they want is obviously 2020 year to date, as of, I think a lot of them are as of like February, like right before all of this happened. But I would, in my case, for instance, in 2019, I have that payroll report, but that payroll is actually different than my 2018 and my 2020. Why? Because I had a baby. So my situation, I'm probably going to have to submit multiple documents for multiple years to establish what my true payroll is. So having all of that information together is really, really important. So here's the bad news. The bad news is that most banks are not even ready for the applications. I read online that there was some 31-page document that was issued last night. They were supposed to have the applications out today, which was the day that you're supposed to be able to start submitting. And there was some 31-page document that gave a bunch of guidelines and requirements. And so most of the banks are not actually ready to take applications. So I think B of A has theirs up, but that's where I bank. And it's got stupid requirements, but I think they're probably going to change those. The requirement is that basically you have a business checking account as well as a lending relationship for that business account with the bank. So for instance, I have my property accounts. I have my brokerage business account. I have the new business I'm launching account. I have my media loan out account. I have a lot of accounts that give, but I don't have credit cards for each one of those businesses, especially not the business that has the payroll, which is my brokerage business. Anyway, I'm going to work that out with Bank of America, but I'm just letting you know that there's a bunch of requirements that they have going on right now, and they're not really ready. So I think they're trying to, manage the number of applications that they're getting. But I did apply for an economic injury disaster loan through the SBA, I think 2 weeks ago, like right after we got on lockdown. And originally, when I first submitted my application, I couldn't get in because California was not yet declared an emergency zone. I think you have to have the governor has to declare it an emergency zone for you to even be eligible. But I checked back every day. So what I would recommend is definitely get on the phone with your bank, go on your bank's website, find out if they have it. And if they have certain requirements, whatever, don't wait for them to get into contact with you. You stay on top of it, keep checking back, and have your information together. Other than that, I think that the most important thing is, obviously this is a tremendous opportunity to get at least 2.5 months worth of payroll paid and hopefully completely forgiven. And it's very, very important that you get this application in a timely manner because, again, it's first come, first serve. I myself am going to do my application anyway, even though they told me I'm not really eligible. So as soon as I get it done, as if I have any tips for you, I will come back and vlog those tips. But let me know if you have any questions or something like that, because I hope I covered everything, but there is more information. And like I said, it's changing every single day. But I will be trying to do this every day to give you more and more information. I hope you guys are well. Stay safe and stay home.